Isn't it ironic that you're procrastinating by watching videos on how to overcome procrastination? So, I hope this one is worth it, and don't read the comments below just yet. For once in your life, focus. About 95% of people admit to putting off work, according to Piers Steel, author of the Procrastination Equation. And the remaining 5% are probably lying. It is a fact that most people today simply do not want to get up from their bed. However, procrastination is not a modern problem. Consider Marcus Aurelius, a famous philosopher and Roman emperor from the 2nd century. In the Meditations, he reveals how he managed to motivate himself to get up in the morning. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm? If his worst impulses refused to listen to reason, Marcus Aurelius would retort, so you were born to feel nice? Instead of doing things and experiencing them? Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being? Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? This man was the emperor. He didn't have to do anything. If he wanted to sleep all day long, no one could say a word to him. However, he realized that he was not made to procrastinate. For Marcus Aurelius, getting up early meant more than just making the best of your day. By forcing yourself to get out of bed, even when you don't want to, you are living life as it should be lived, as nature intended, according to the emperor. In this sense, his observations about his daily routine spark a much broader discussion about virtue, which is characterized in the Meditations as the pursuit of traits such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. The reason we procrastinate is simple. We are bored. However, the problem goes a bit deeper than that. The real question is, why are we bored? We live in a day filled with continual distractions. You probably clicked on this video and are already checking the other suggested videos on the sidebar. Our minds have been conditioned to have relatively short attention spans. We can't listen to something important for too long. We are constantly looking for the next item that is presented to us. Thus, even when we come across something nice, our minds will not enjoy it and will instead look for the next greater thing. It's a pretty sad state. Of course, this short attention span is a modern-day problem caused by social media. Another reason why we are bored is that we do not like what we have to do. But if you could only do something, anything, to get started, it's simpler to stick with a task if you've overcome the initial challenge of doing it in the first place. That is because the tasks that cause procrastination are rarely as difficult as we believe. Starting something requires a subconscious reappraisal of that work, and we may discover that the actual task sets off fewer triggers than we expected. According to research, we recall incomplete or interrupted work more vividly than completed initiatives. It's like listening to a catchy song only to have it abruptly cut off in the middle, leaving it stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Starting a task indicates that you will continue to process it, which increases your likelihood of returning to it later. List the cost of procrastination. This strategy works best when you're putting off larger responsibilities. While it is not worthwhile to spend 20 minutes listing the costs of not going for your nightly run, doing so will be quite beneficial when it comes to saving for retirement. Consider how postponing on retirement savings may affect your social life, finances, stress, happiness, health, and so on. It's also worth establishing a list of the things you procrastinate on, both personally and professionally, and evaluating the expenses of each. And after you've done so, disconnect. Our smartphones provide an abundance of distractions, including email, social media, and messaging with friends and family. This is tougher if our job grows more ambiguous and unstructured. When you catch yourself procrastinating with your device, disconnect. When I'm writing, I'll sometimes move my phone to another room and turn off my computer's Wi-Fi. Other times, I use an app like Freedom or Self-Control, which disables access to distracting websites and requires me to restart my computer to regain access. This may sound strict, and it is. Disabling internet distractions ahead of time forces you to focus on what's most important. Finally, here's the first test for beating procrastination right now. Don't click on that other catchy thumbnail. Why continue wasting your time? Disconnect from your device and go complete that task you've been procrastinating on. Do it for only 10 minutes. Simply get things started. And remember, you may procrastinate, but time never does. It moves quickly.